Hello and welcome as today's date comes in that of the 3rd day of December 2019. It's the completion of that day, at least it should be when you're watching this video, or it's close to that. And all bets, trades of the like always, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. Within the Bitcoin charts, we can see red down days over the last 4 or 5. Now we're entering a new day. It's 9:19 p.m., meaning we're entering the 4th day of December. Already down 1.87%. Yesterday, just minorly down, like basis points, $9.20. Day before, down a little over 1%, $100. Down 1.8% the day before that. The day before that, it was down 2.6. And when the size of this candle in here, this first red one, is a 2.6% down day, yeah, the overall compared to like traditional markets, that's pretty big. And when a day like this, it's down just 6 compared to what historical bull markets and bear markets and movements of previous Bitcoin has looked like, well, it's low volatility, and that's how it is. And within this, we have the lows. It's been playing amongst it. Well, as I look at this, I mean, it just seems that the next station stop, as I'll call it, in which price action is going to, is 6,300, 6,200, and probably a bit extra more on top of that. How accurate it's going to be, I don't know. Probably not as accurate as the predictions that I used to encounter when I went on the GO train in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hasn't changed since I last went on it. It's been a couple decades close to since, I don't know if I've been on the 1999 might be the last year. I think I was on this line, but they'd be like, Rouge Hill, next station stop, they would tell you, and they were right every single time. I usually take this from Union Station in here, which is this one here, to Oshawa. Sometimes Pickering, Ajax, or Whitby, but never ever Danforth, Scarborough, Eglinton, Guildwood, or Rouge Hill. But this video isn't about local trains that 5 to 10% of you would be familiar with watching that section, or maybe have been on in the past. Let's just take a look at this on the Coinbase exchange. And I'm not going to explain. Wow, this one actually hit. Did it? No, it's just that was. The low here is 6,526. But when you look at it this way, at least it looked like before anyway. As I was saying before, nothing's changing. Usually these things pierce extra. This is piercing less. Mathematically, this is where I talk about the law of average. It should work out like flipping a coin. It should work out like black and red on roulette, or red or black in cards. Yes or no, binary. Either or. 50-50 likelihood of one or the other happening when they are about the same. That is when price action comes near, but not that far off and not that close to this key number. Is it near it, above it, which means not quite to it, or not getting to there, or extra, pierce extra, as I state? I don't know if it's better than 9 times out of 10 that it does the pierce extra. So that's why I'd be very, very surprised if the lows are in and that of this at 65.26, rather than something that would be at around 6,350, and most likely even lower than 6,300 and 6,100. Viewing this on the hourly time frame, and I put this line in yesterday. I don't remember when. I can't remember when. Well, for time wise, I guess I knew it was after the 1st of December, though. I put this line in, and obviously it has been resisting this on several occasions, and just recently at about 1900 hours, 7 p.m. Eastern time, a significant event occurred, a change of status. The status was going sideways in between this range of 72 low change, resisting up to 73 high change, and it was doing that since the start of the month. Well, it's only been all of the first, all of the second day, and most of the third day. It's only been on not quite 72 hours of it, but it has changed it. It's broken down before. We'll see how it's going to react to that fact, where and when these lows are going to come in, if and how well this previous support now, which would be 72.80, or the support marking around high 72s, and in the lower end at around 72 even. So pretty much the entire 72 mark as the area where it came from. Will that occur? But for now, you've had a decent red, a little whole consolidation. It's went a little lower from the lower of the previous, but has nowhere near any rally that's come up towards this 18 average. And the time factor being only 2 periods is not much at all thus far. On the 15-minute term, well, here's the bulk of the decline. And there's that extra little bit of low. We can see that from this period, it at least came up to here. We'll shorten it out from the 15. Go to the 1 right after this. But we can see from this time frame, after 3 noticeable periods down, so it took much more. I can't say much, but most likely much more than 15. And the reason why I say that, if I look at just these 3 periods, I know that it took at least 15 minutes to get from this close to this open, obviously. How long did this period take on the bulk move, and how long did this take? I mean, it could have been the last minute and the first minute, but probably not. I haven't seen the 1 minute time frame, but I will after the conclusion of this analysis. But as we're playing out, again, the 3 big moves down, there we can see it's come up towards, not towards, but almost came to the 18 average, both that through price and time. But this period alone, with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, so the bulk of this 15-minute period is over. After you see something like this, the 3 periods and even the 4th doing this, and now this one in here in play, this low has come down to the lower end of this 3 sets of periods in here. It looks as if it's going to continue down in here and probably be weak at this point, and thus have continuation for another leg lower. Let's see if the 1 minute can verify this. And amongst it, this is the decline. So it had a little bit of a fall from 1900 down to 1907, but then it really got going at 1930 to about 1936. So over another cup of coffee incidents kind of deal. And why are you drinking coffee at 1900? Oh, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, we have resistance at $7,100 that came into play, and this lower high is just that lower to here. You can see how it, when it got above the 18 average of highs, was unable to really fulfill any type of further gain, but more importantly, showed a lot of weakness here at the 18. It supported for a little bit, and this red candle here, at least the spike up to this high, that was its attempt. You got above the highs, you come to the lows, now you're looking to escape it. Didn't do that. Left the 18, and what's happened since? It makes a low piercing below this. It resists the lows. Another low. Now we're resisting this again in here. We can still resist it up towards the 18 average of highs. It's got a decent amount of ways to go, because now just getting above here means you got to have a decent enough move just to get back to previous high and try to regain that little sideways mode that it was in from point here to point pretty much in there. Let's finish off Bitcoin within its dominance, and then we'll move over to Komodo. But as far as this is concerned, we just got the data from a little over a year, and it was way back up in here. Bitcoin major dominance, because altcoins, no one cared about them back then, and then all those great stuff, and well, depending on your term of what was great or not for you. For myself, I considered it was the big movements to do what it did in 2017 amongst high volatility. And now, I mean, the size of this compared to the size of this, and this compared to the size of this, and this compared to the size of all of this. Volatility, of course, is microscopic. Within the microscopic volatility, the pattern that we're seeing is the last big high is in here. And this was a while ago now, but not too long ago. Start of September. All of September, October, November, December, and 12 minus 9, 3 months. And it had to start off with a decent decline doing this type of lower lows and lower highs. And then it made this granddaddy of lower highs and higher lows. Excuse me, lower highs and higher highs. Well, lower highs from both this one, but really even this one in here. But higher from this high and higher from this high. So you had a decent enough move to say, okay, let's attempt to get above it. When you see a significant move above the 18, that's what market conditions are telling you. It didn't hold and stay above the 18 average. But what it did do was, or what it did not do rather, it was have a fast move. All it did was support a spot that it normally doesn't. In a situation when you have a decline, you have a failed breakout, you come back to previous low. It's not often that you're going to follow through like this. So that's just something I find very interesting. Usually you're going to have little to no support. Well, definitely had support. I can't say that. Little support, well, if it would have done all this and started going lower, well, that's little support. And even if it does just a little bit of this as a fake move, and that would still be little support because it doesn't rally for that big of a gain. That's how I would define little support. Okay, so as it playing out, it's showing some strength amongst this 18 average of highs on the Bitcoin dominance, but it also means as this is going down, it just means that altcoins are, when Bitcoin's going down 2-3%, you're going to see other coins going down 5-6% type of action. Now let's switch over to Komodo on the Binance exchange. And then we're going to take a look at Komodo against Komodo. Yeah. All right, I don't know what to say about this day. I haven't made a Komodo trade in a long time. And I could, I suppose, on Bittrex because the wallets are online there. I can send coins in and out of that exchange. And I got a bunch of Komodo in my private wallet ready to do whatever. In fact, I haven't logged on there and put my private key password in close to a month now. And it's an inflationary coin, meaning I'm going to probably get a few extra Komodos because that's what I get is free coins. And anyone would by holding it in their wallet. However, I stated before, and there's no change to this. I'm going to be out of this Komodo. I don't know the answer to this. And I mean, I'd like to know. Doesn't bother me if I don't find out, but why for so many days is the wallets offline on Binance for the Komodo coin? And it's not the first time that multiple days has been like this, but this has been the longest. However, as far as the move is concerned, from this decline, you have this up move and attempt to get above the 18 average. So far from this first correctionary move, it has established and held this area of support. But what's going on in here? It matched previous high. But now it's back, not only to where it came from, but the lower end to where it came from. And what we can see here is that last night, somebody bought it big, and they're just selling it all back down again. 15-minute term time frame. Well, when I see this, I might as well just go to the 1, which we'll do. And just scroll to the event. And there it is. So it worked out that this is what the market was looking like a little after midnight. And then this happened. You go from 900 up to 959, up to over 1,000, up to 11, up to 12, up to 1250, pretty much 13, and a little over 13. So you get like 400 basis points on 900. And even if your wallets were available in here, I mean, there's no way Komodo to Binance is going to... I can't say that, but probably not. A half hour? Yeah, I guess maybe. It's like 120 or so confirmations for Komodo on the when the wallets work, that is, on the Binance exchange. So it can take a good 40 minutes or so, or an hour. I've seen it take over an hour, I think. But with that being said, the market moves up 400 points on a 900 point Satoshi level from before, or 900 basis points. It's actually 9,000. It's got 7 decimals to the thing instead of 8. But I like to just say basis points, like 900 to 13. And then you can do the number in your head or in your calculator for what that means. And, well, in my head, 4 divided by 9 is 44%. And it got 400 points on 900. So that's what the gain was. And then you can see how it's just been selling it off ever since. Once I can sell this on Binance, or I don't mind selling it on Bittrex, I'll just take my coins and I'll sell them all, and I'll do something with them. What I'll probably do after they become, well, once they become Bitcoin, is they will become something else. Ripple, Tezos, maybe Bitcoin Cash as a possibility. I don't think I'll put it into HBAR. I've already got some Litecoin, but I'm already trading it against Litecoin. What do I trade? I'd probably go with something like a Ripple base on something. Bitcoin Cash. But we'll see. We'll see. It might be a while before I even am able to make the decision and execute it. But before we go to the Komodo versus Komodo chart, let's take a look at this on a more longer term. And Binance has only been around since late 2017. So I only got this much data, but as far as the weekly chart on this, and I guess I'll go the Bittrex one after this. There's your failed breakout, which occurred at the start of 2019. This level of key support is where we're at now, which is the first layer of resistance, which is this exact area low. And then the next layer would be this support, which coincides with this general area here. But I get more data with Bittrex, so let's bring up that weekly chart now. And we can see within it that this is lower in price, and well, that's because of the differential of the two exchanges. You can't arbitrage this amongst the two exchanges. If you could, then the differentials of price of one over the other won't last for that long, because you can sell on one site, buy on the other, and transfer coins as you may. But you can't do that because you can't transfer coins into Binance, and I'm not a big fan of that right now. And I don't know why. And that's a little disturbing, actually, that I don't know why. Because, I Google search Binance, Komodo, wallets offline, and I don't see anything, really. And I go on the Binance site. I don't know what page to look at to see, well, why is it offline? Why has it been offline for so long? I don't know. These lines that I drew in were a long time ago. Fibonacci from this low to this high. But basically what has happened is we're retesting its all-time lows against Bitcoin right now. So far, it has pierced below it, but has also held and stayed within it thus far. I'm not going to say it's held and stayed above it. I mean, technically it has, but it's still got a decent push to go to even attempt to lift off. And retracement from these lows to the all-time high is pretty much a 3x hit. First in June of 2017, then September of that year, and then December of that year of 2017. And this is the ratio. Maybe the wallets are back online on Binance. I'm not going to log on to find out because I got nothing to trade right now anyway. But during that rally, this thing got to a differential of like 33% when we look at this on the weekly chart. Well, you didn't know it was that day on the weekly, but in the daily chart we can see it. So ever since like November 6th, almost a month now, the ratio of one Komodo to the other, well, the Binance one is more expensive. Don't know why. And I don't know if wallets are offline or whatever. Manipulation always goes on for the price for this to always do that. Again, more reasons why I want to be off on that coin, because it's always frustrating to have wallets offline when I don't hold them on the exchanges. I got 0.00875 or so. I got under 0.01 Komodo, just for rounding purposes, on my Binance account. And I got 100% of my Komodo within my private wallet. Maybe because this is back to 0.009, it's still technically not, it needs to be even down a little bit more. So I don't think that the wallets will be back, but this is just crazy stuff. This is the 1 hour, but I mean, that rally in here, you can see, just happened to do this type of stuff, and that's what it was. Now, it just seems for me, I'm going to be in a situation where I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Meaning, if I just hang on to doing Komodo it won't do too well. It'll have its up and down moves, but nothing great. And I'll have more of these events where the market will do these up moves and the wallets will be offline. And then, of course, if I sell it, oh, Komodo has just tripled its price where everything else has done nothing. Oh, yay. I feel that that's going to happen. So I'm going to say this in advance to whatever I do. Damn it. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.